So to sum up, one awesome movie about a demon hunter seeking redemption, one goofy 90s comedy about, well, basically two idiots doing idiot things, but I still thought it was funny, and one ridiculously underrated gem. And now for the one movie that I hate but everyone else likes. It is a movie featuring Harrison Ford and is part of a very popular action-adventure franchise. A movie that uses the father-son thing that you know your franchise is in trouble when you don't use that right. I am, of course, referring to the absolute disaster that is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I have no idea why people like this movie. It's terrible. The problem I have with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was it felt way too much like it was trying to redo Raiders. Because basically you've got hero going after a mysterious, powerful thing, bad guys also after a mysterious, powerful thing, bad guys capture Indy and they force him to bring them this mysterious, powerful thing. Bad guys do something stupid and kill themselves. It's basically the same story, but without all the fun and originality that we got in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And also in The Last Crusade, even as a kid, I thought it sucked. I even tried to go back and watch part of it last summer. Still sucks. I'm actually kind of amazed at how much I didn't like it. Like, I liked River Phoenix as young Indiana Jones. I thought he was good. But other than that, it just felt way too forced and honestly kind of depressing. Okay, so in this movie we're introduced to Sean Connery as Indy's father, but the problem is they just really don't do their bond/relationship well at all. It basically, it's really just feels like that they spend all their screen time together bickering and arguing. And if I wanted to see a movie about two grown men bickering and arguing, I'd just watch Step Brothers. Besides, that movie was actually funny. But here, no, it just really didn't work, and to be honest, the movie doesn't even feel like an Indiana Jones movie. It feels like a movie with some schmo who happens to have the same name and is played by the same actor. And also, the villain, he was just annoying. Like, yeah, the villain in this one is named Walter Donovan, and he's played by Julian Glover. And first off, his acting was terrible. Like, he basically just spends most of his screen time standing around talking in a dumb voice. And he's not even that good of a character, to be honest. Like, he's the bad guy who wants the Grail because he desires immortality, and he's secretly working with the Nazis. And that's another problem with the movie, because the Nazis were also the bad guys in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in that movie, they pretty much killed themselves after capturing Indy and forcing him to bring them the Ark. Like, seriously, you think they would have learned their lesson after Raiders. And now they're basically making the same mistake by making him go after the Holy Grail for them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, back to the main villain. yeah, he's just not even threatening. It's like he acts like he's trying to be a James Bond villain, but the problem is James Bond villains are actually, you know, cool or threatening, or, believe it or not, both. But yeah, he's just not either of these. And the actor, I don't think he was a very good actor. I've only seen him in like a couple other things, and he was okay, but he's not the kind of actor that makes me want to see a movie. And when you think about it, he's actually pretty stupid. Like at the point where they get to the temple where the Holy Grail is, the only time he ever does anything threatening is where he shoots Indy's dad, forcing Indy to go in and get the Grail. And okay, so when they get to the cave after evading all the booby traps, there's this knight waiting for them, and there are several other Grails in this cave, and if you choose the real Grail, you will become immortal. But if you choose the wrong one, you'll die. And so when Donovan gets into the cave after Indy, he's like, "But I'm not a historian. I don't even know what it looks like." What? You're going after this thing, and at no point you bothered to figure out what it looks like? You fool!
Some people are dumb.
And right after the knight says, if you pick the wrong one, you will die. Wow. So the logical thing to do would be to bring an actual historian with you. I mean, sure, yeah, bring Indy too, because he'll help you get past all the traps, but bring an actual historian who might know what it looks like. And no, that's not even close to what he does. He just has his assistant choose the most like pricey looking Grail, and he drinks from it and dies because he's a moron. And his death scene, oh my god. Like, whose brilliant idea was that? That was awful. It looks like an Evil Dead ripoff threw up. I'm not going to show that because it's both disappointing as it is traumatizing. Yeah, that's the unpleasantness that is Walter Donovan. Seriously, he makes Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3 look like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. So, and actually that really sums up my feelings on The Last Crusade. It's boring, forced, depressing, and just downright off-putting. But if you want to see a good movie about a quest for the Holy Grail, just watch Monty Python.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Wasn't that funny? Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good time doing, well, whatever it is you like to do, I guess. See ya.